As a homeowner, you're not in any danger from your quartz countertops, but people are still dying so you can have them. And we're going to talk about it right now. Welcome back, Remodelites. I'm Dave with Remodel Media, and since 2005, I've been helping people put together kitchens, baths, outdoor kitchens, and various other home renovation projects. I'm on a mission to eliminate remodel regret, and I do that by bringing you the latest tips, tricks, and products for your home remodel. So, if you're new here, follow along. We'll have some fun. Silicosis is a form of occupational lung disease caused by inhalation of crystalline silica dust, and usually takes decades to develop, although in some cases it can develop in 5 to 10 years, and even rarer still after only a few months of very heavy exposure. And you know what's made of varying degrees of silica dust? That's right, your quartz composite countertops. Just so we are clear, I am speaking, of course, about man-made quartz, not quartzite, which is a natural quartz that is mined out of the ground. Some of these quartz countertops have as much as 95% silica level. When these countertops are cut and fabricated, dust is thrown into the air, and then that dust lands on the ground. Somebody else comes along, sweeps it up, which kicks the dust back up into the air. So there's a lot of inhalation going on. Ideally, these workers would wear respirators, but that's not going to be 100% against this thing. It's a completely preventable disease that's killing people that are just trying to put food on the table. You have otherwise healthy people who are just in their 30s requiring lung transplants. It's gotten so bad that in December, Australia banned engineered stone. California has implemented temporary emergency regulations, such as communicating the risks in a way that employees can understand, as well as dust suppression measures, such as wet cutting or vacuums with HEPA filters, as well as respirators for employees. In general, the quartz countertop industry has had some mixed responses, with some manufacturers saying that if workers were properly trained and complied with state and federal OSHA regulations, this would be completely avoidable, while other manufacturers responded by reducing the amount of silica in their countertops, dropping from 95% to as little as 10%, with products like Hybric from Cosentino, which I hope to see when I go to KBIS this year. Not sponsored, but if you want to, Cosentino, we should talk, just saying. We saw something similar happen with lead in your faucets a little over a decade ago. You see, most of our faucets and most of our plumbing is made of brass, and brass is a composite metal or alloy made, among other things, of copper and lead. Back in 2006, California passed Assembly Bill 1953, which called for anything touching potable water to be less than 0.25% lead content, or 0.0025. Let's pretend that this graphic is 1 unit of brass. You see that blue mark? That's 1%. We're talking 1/4 of that, so basically a negligible amount. The problem is lead is what makes brass easy to work with. Less lead means the brass is more brittle, more prone to breaking when it's machined. This bill went into effect in 2010, so despite having a few years to prepare, there were several years of utter chaos. What a lot of companies did at that point was they lined their faucets with some kind of PEX or plastic that allowed them to say, look, the water doesn't even touch the brass, so this is 0% lead touching the water. And for a while, they would have one version of the faucet that they shipped to California and one version of the faucet they would ship to the rest of the United States. And you had to be very careful about which type you ordered, as not everything was available in the California compliant version. Meanwhile, we were battling a flood of unregulated cheap Chinese knockoffs coming into the market. It got so bad that the California Energy Commission got involved. Thankfully, things have stabilized, and everything for the most part that you buy from major plumbing brands like Kohler, Moen, Delta are going to be lead-free. So what does this mean to you, the consumer, regarding your countertops in 2024? What are some of the things that you need to watch out for? Those are some great questions. I'm glad you asked. The first thing I would suggest is researching the brands of quartz you're considering using. Stick to your major well-known brands that are specifically advertising low silica quartz, like Hybrick from Silestone by Cosentino. I swear they're not paying me to say this, I just happen to like the brand and the product. Make sure you know where your quartz is coming from. Ask the questions. Share this video with your installer. It may be possible that this is their first time hearing this information. Or you could just say, that's the installer's problem, not mine. I want what I want, and that would certainly be a decision. Thanks for watching. I hope you got some good information out of that episode. Go ahead and click here for more videos. Go ahead and click here to subscribe. And make sure you check out the description below for relevant links to some of the products that we discussed today. And leave your comments and questions down below because I love answering them. As always, I'll see you in the next one.